Episode 24, the start of a new journey. With Boren's sacrifice, the collapse of the mine was stopped. Rian and Alara had survived. Wordlessly, they supported each other as they made their way out of the ruined cavern and back to the surface. The alchemist Galen had vanished somewhere in the chaos. When they emerged, the eastern sky was beginning to brighten. The eclipse was over, and a new morning was coming. Silver Creek Village was still there, its people sleeping, unaware of what had transpired. Only 2 people remembered the horrific battle that had taken place underground the night before, and the noble sacrifice of a hero. A few days later, the evil deeds of Baron Thornfield were revealed to the world. Ryan handed over Galen's research journal, which he had managed to retrieve from the manor, to the kingdom's nightly order. The journal contained the terrible truth of the Shadow Cult's conspiracy and their experiments on human subjects. The kingdom was thrown into an uproar, and a full-scale investigation was launched. The Shadow Cult was officially declared the most dangerous enemy of the kingdom. Silver Creek Village was liberated. The miners who had lost their souls began to slowly recover, thanks to the healing power of the moon battle sent by Dryas. Lara became the new leader of the village, carrying on her father's will and guiding the people. She was no longer a huntress burning with vengeance, but a strong leader who had buried her sorrow to build a better future. Everything seemed to be returning to its rightful place, but Ryan's heart felt empty. He avoided the hero's welcome and quietly prepared to leave the village. On the morning of his departure, Lara came to see him. "Where will you go?" "Who knows? Wherever the wind blows, wherever my feet take me," Ryan answered, forcing a smile. "Take this with you." Lara handed him a small leather pouch. It was filled with a considerable amount of gold collected by the villagers as a token of their gratitude. "And this is a personal gift." She took a small pendant from her neck and pressed it into his hand. It was a keepsake left by her father. "You may be a swindler, but to me you're a savior. And Boren, he was a hero to us all. We will not forget it." Ryan said nothing, simply accepting the pendant and putting it around his neck. He paid one last visit to the Shadowwood. Dryas was waiting for him. "His sacrifice was not in vain," Dryas said. "His spirit will live on forever with this forest. I miss him," Ryan said in a low voice. "Grief is the burden of the survivor, but you must keep moving forward. There are still things left in this world for you to do." Dryas gave him a new piece of information. Through the power of the forest, she had sensed that the remnants of the Shadow Cult were gathering in the great eastern metropolis, Ethereum. It was highly likely that the alchemist Galen had also fled there. They were surely plotting something new. A spark began to return to Ryan's eyes. Grief was deeply rooted in his heart, but he could not let it hold him back. For the sake of honoring Boren's sacrifice, he had to fight. "Ethereum, you say? A fine place. It must be full of noble lords to swindle." Ryan flashed his signature roguish smile, but behind that smile was a new, steel-like resolve. He was no longer a swindler, fighting only for his own survival. He was a warrior in the shadows, carrying on his friend's legacy and fighting against a great evil. He bid farewell to Dryas and rode his horse towards the east. Behind him, the peaceful scenery of Silver Creek and the green expanse of the Shadowwood faded into the distance. Ahead of him, the spires of the great city of Ethereum were just beginning to become visible. A new Episode 25. Ethereum, the city of steel and sorcery. Ethereum was unlike any city Ryan had ever seen. Colossal spires, the pinnacles of magical engineering, pierced the sky, and between them, ether carriages powered by magic glided silently. The streets were a melting pot of all races, wealthy merchants and arrogant nobles, mages in pursuit of knowledge and information, brokers who sold secrets, and among them, countless swindlers and pickpockets seeking their own opportunities. Ethereum was a massive city of steel and sorcery, a crucible where opportunity and danger boiled together. While Ryan was overwhelmed by the city's scale and vitality, he also felt a strange sense of excitement. This kind of chaos was the water he swam best in. Using the gold coins from the villagers of Silver Creek and Alara's pendant as his starting capital, he found a humble lodging in the city's back alleys. The days of playing the hero were over. In this vast city, he was once again a nameless stranger who had to use his wits to survive. His first objective was to gather information, to find the whereabouts of the Shadow Cult and the alchemist Galen. He needed to access the city's information network. For several days, he scoured the city. By day, he loitered around the merchant districts, where the wealthy gathered, or near the Ivory Spire, the Mage's Quarter. By night, he drifted between the taverns of the Shadow Market, where the city's shadows lay deepest. The Shadow Market was a lawless zone beyond the reach of order. There, anything could be obtained for the right price. Forbidden magical ingredients, stolen treasures, even a person's life were all for sale. Ryan quickly grasped the way of this place. Information was currency, and the most valuable information was hidden in the deepest, darkest corners. He took a seat in the corner of the Whispering Dagger Tavern, nursing a drink and listening to the conversations around him. He played the part of a drunken drifter, but his ears and eyes were absorbing every piece of information like a sponge. Those bastards from the Night Visitors Guild have been getting bold lately. They've hit several noble banners, and the city guard can't seem to touch them. That's not all. Rumor is the guild has a new backer, someone with vast funds and strange powers. There are odd rumors coming from the Ivory Spire, too. Talk of a few high-ranking mages who went missing after dabbling in the forbidden art of soul alchemy. And the words strange powers and soul alchemy. Ryan's ears perked up. This was undoubtedly connected to the Shadow Cult. But this level of information wasn't enough. To go deeper, he had to jump into the game himself. He could no longer be an observer. He had to become a player. He fiddled with the gold coins in his pocket. This amount was nowhere near enough to buy high-level information. He needed money. And the fastest, surest way to make money in this city was to pull off an even bigger con. For the first time in a long while, a true swindler's smile spread across Ryan's lips. On the grand stage of Ethereum, he was preparing to begin the most dangerous and spectacular play of his life. His first target, the pockets of the city's most arrogant and wealthy